Hey there. Say, if you're running a business, between $250,000 and like $5 million, I know that your biggest enemy isn't about competition. It's friction. For the past 2 years, we have all been sort of obsessed with ChatGPT and AI, right? We're talking about it. I'm talking about it. I just did a workshop last week about it, and I'm continuing to do some in my community. It's really brilliant. It's creative. It's saved us a lot of time. The time efficiency has helped us a lot. It's like a brain in a box, right? But for those of us whose entire companies live like in Google, I'm a Google gal, right? I'm an Android girl. I don't know about y'all iPhone folks, but everything I do in my business, I do it through my phone, I do it through my laptop, but I live in Google. So I have Google Docs, Google, Chrome browser, the Google Workspace, Gmail, Sheets, Drive, all of that is there. Sometimes ChatGPT is starting to feel like more like a consultant who lives in another building, if you get what I mean. You're constantly copying and pasting and you're putting it into your ecosystem, your world, which in my case, and I know a lot of you out there, is using Google, the Gemini. You have to go find the documents. Sometimes you have to explain everything from scratch. Sometimes you have to kind of copy it over, and then you notice that there is some AI in like Docs or Gmail, and you're able to use that, but it's not talking to your Chat GPT. Am I the only one who's going through that? I know I'm not. So you have to kind of carry things back and forth. So today I'm going to show you what I'm in the process of doing. I am migrating. I mean, I like ChatGPT. I mean, 80% of most people are using ChatGPT. I know that number is changing. It's changing because of a lot of the good things that Gemini and Google's finally catch up in what they're offering. So I'm going to show you what I'm doing. I am migrating everything over, so that way most of my brain in the box is living in the Gemini ecosystem because that's where I do most of my work. Sometimes the mistakes I see founders make is really in their AI setup. We to start that way, right? We're using our personal AI. It's like everything, right? You use your personal Facebook and then Facebook added business pages, right? So we're using our personal stuff. But now, if you are, with $1 million in sales, you got to try to organize this. You got to get people who in your team not using private accounts, the security around that. And that's why it doesn't seem easy to integrate AI into your business. You need to bridge that gap between that security and maybe even some of the data that you're losing. And I do believe having it in your consistent workspace and just really pulling the Band-Aid off and doing it now is your best approach. The decision to lean in on this is not that hard to do. You aren't just looking for answers. You're really looking for like a workflow that's going to work with your business. AI can do that for you and it can help you with your decision making, sure, but it's got to flow in your business. It's got to flow better. And right now, this is a little kind of clunky and it's like almost an add on. But we're at a point now in this whole AI journey that you're starting to see, especially in the small business community, because we're nimble. We can do this. The big brands, enterprise, it's going to take them a minute. I remember thinking the same way when the internet started, right? It's going to take them a minute to figure it out. But if you're making, $250,000 to like $5 million, this is for you. You could make this happen. You just got to pull the Band-Aid off. So my decision wasn't to go from my decision to go to Gemini, like I mentioned before. It wasn't because ChatGPT got worse. It was just the clunkiness of it. It wasn't flowing. Gemini is finally the reason why it's where I live. I live there. I do a lot of things there. There's so many great tools there. And the value of what I get over there, it just makes sense. When you're managing a team or you have high volume clients, 30 seconds to copy and paste prompt, into a Google Doc, that's a tax. That's like a time tax. That is time that you can't get back. And do you really want your VA to be spending copying and pasting? Is that the best benefit of their time? Gemini offers a massive context window. It is definitely becoming more all in one with everything that you need to do using AI. You can feed your entire client onboarding folder from your drive that you already have it there because you're organized over there and ask where the gaps are in your current process. You don't have to like copy and paste it in it. It'll answer you in the context of those files. Now, I know I do teach, to put together like your business brain or your business truth documents that you need to put together and feed it into AI. But if you have it already out there and laid out there, isn't it just better just link it and let it talk to it? Gemini makes it so seamless to be able to do that. That's the level of executive support that honestly, OpenAI can't match. That's why OpenAI is trying to do a lot of new and different things. Gemini is really starting to catch up and really honing in on something, and it's coming out to be fairly good. It's not messy, and it doesn't take like a tech brain to make this migration, to make this happen. It's easy. It's no messy API setups and all that craziness. You don't need to do all that. Okay, before I even go on, let me just tell you this. I mean, this information is great, but it could be even greater if you like and subscribe. So please click the like and subscribe button below, and you can get more content. Thanks a lot. Okay, now back to what I was talking about. The migration is really easy. You just need to export all your data in, and I'm going to put an overlay here where you can see if you're in ChatGPT, all you have to do is go into your settings and then export out your data. And then what you need to do is just put it in a place within Gemini so that way you can access it. You could put it in a drive folder so it knows everything that you've done over there. And it could read it and like, all right, it will start to talk what you're used to. Trust me, I did this. So you got to make sure that you don't want to leave any of that intelligence behind, right? Because you told it everything from what you're going to do with your business. Sometimes you mix your personal stuff in there. So you need to bring all that over. Here's how to take your brain. First, you're going to go into, like I mentioned before, going to the settings and export data. You're going to get a zip file in the email. And this is the pro move that you need to do. Take those conversations and create a .json file. And if you need help with this, just reach out to me. You're going to upload it into Google's Notebook LM. Notebook LM, I can talk about that in another video. But that is such a powerful tool that lives within Gemini. And you can integrate that folder in. And now you're set. It's basically maybe a minute and a half of your time. Not a lot of time to make this change. And then you can have context on everything that you've done in your AI journey, but in the ecosystem that you're already working in. Not to mention, I mean, you're getting all the emails over there, right? If you're using Gmail, it could find out and maybe even hone in some things that maybe you didn't think about because you've had to separate the two. Remember, you're not starting over, you're just upgrading. Now, from a pricing standpoint, it's pretty easy to look at the pricing. It's about the same. And I wouldn't be surprised. If you are a Google person, you probably are paying for Workspace already. And if you're paying for Workspace, that's $20. And it's included. It's included in that. You don't have to have a separate AI account. Or you could take that AI account dollars and put it towards something else. But it's already included. So if you want to, you can start to phase out. And that's what I'm going to do. Phase out my ChatGPT and get it back down to a free version because I'm paying for one already. $20 a month is not that bad. You're going to have to pay for one of them. I always tell people that. But I'm sure you don't want to overlap and pay for too many of them. And you probably already have some other AI tools that you're paying for. You got to look at your expenses at any stage in your business. Under the Google AI Premium, the premium is pretty cheap. $20, like I said. You're gaining an AI at the point of work. You're writing emails in Gmail with AI, and you're not jumping between different tabs, right? I know I've done this. You could see it in Gmail, how it's added these AI features. You're doing things in there all the way. But you got to just now move that big engine, that big brain. And that's the main thing, is this final movement of the brain. So you want to regain your focus. You want to save some more efficiency, especially when you're working. And this is a way to do that. It's committing to streamlining your business. And if you have a tech stack that feels like a tangled mess and it's getting messier and messier year after year with all these different subscriptions, and AI isn't actually making your life quieter, right? We've been there. So if you're interested in trying to find out how to make this work for you, and you want to do the migration because you're already paying for it and you want to press the easy button, just click the link below and book some time with me. You could book a free, like 30 minutes with me. And I'm not gonna try to sell you anything. I'll help you out and just show you like how to make this migration work for you. I'll give you a couple of prompts that I use to make it easy, especially if you're challenged with writing prompts. If it takes you 20 minutes to communicate over and over and over with your AI, then you're doing something wrong. I can definitely help you with that. I'm really trying to grow this YouTube channel, and I think you will enjoy the content that I put out on here and share it with your friends as well. Until next time, take care.